They're not saying it on CNBC, but these American giants are quietly fleeing to Canada. It's not on the front page of the Wall Street Journal, no bold headlines, no corporate pressers, but behind closed boardrooms and factory gates, some of America's most iconic companies are slipping quietly over the northern border. The reasons? Tariffs, shifting policies, or something even deeper, something no one's talking about. Until now, you're about to hear the names that shaped American industry. But here's the twist. They're not building here anymore. They're building there. Let's start with one that might just break your nostalgic heart. Number 1, Ford, the soul of American trucks now built under Canadian skies. Ford, the maker of the Mustang, the F-150, a symbol of American grit. But the grit, it's grinding in Ontario now. In 2024, Ford announced a $2.3 billion investment in its Oakville facility. Not in Michigan, not in Kentucky, in Canada. The plan? Build gas-powered Super Duty trucks, Ford's moneymakers, powered by 90% clean energy from Canadian grids. EV production delayed. Battery costs too high, demand plateauing. Instead, Ford doubled down on what sells. And Canada made it easy. $500 million in incentives. Clean energy, streamlined regulations. The response? 1,800 new jobs in Ontario. And a quiet shift in part suppliers, logistics routes, and contract manufacturing northward. It's not a bombshell factory closure in the US. It's a slow, methodical redirection. But just as lethal for the American job market, that pickup cruising down an American highway, check the fine print. It might have more to do with the Great White North than the Motor City. Number 2, Tesla. The EV titan is quietly building a Canadian brain. Tesla, the name that defined American electric innovation. But in 2025, that innovation engine is revving in Canada. Why? Let's talk power. US grids are glitching. Rolling blackouts, soaring energy bills, environmental red tape. While gigafactories in the States get caught in bureaucratic webs, Canada opens the door with clean hydropower, fast approvals, and access to critical battery materials. Ontario now houses Tesla's automation headquarters, where robots are being built to build Teslas. Quebec is being scoped out for full vertical integration, from lithium mines to battery cells. Tesla isn't tweeting about this, Elon isn't hyping it, but the data is there. Job listings in Canada are surging. Facility blueprints are being filed quietly. Meanwhile, some US projects have slowed or gone eerily silent. It's not abandonment, it's evolution. But it signals something deeper. Tesla's future might be Canadian coded, and wherever Tesla goes, its ecosystem follows. Chip developers, AI engineers, solar tech, battery makers. That's not just a move, that's a migration. Number 3, Campbell Soup, a comfort food with a not so comforting exit. Campbell Soup, nostalgia in a can. But even comfort food has its limits when profits get squeezed. More than 90% of Campbell's products rely on aluminum packaging. So when the US slapped a 25% tariff on Canadian aluminum and aluminum prices skyrocketed, Campbell's was caught between a rock and a soup can. Their customers, budget conscious. A 10-cent increase per can could drive them straight to generics or frozen alternatives. Campbell's had a decision to make: raise prices and risk losing families, or move somewhere cheaper. Canada came calling. Without press, without panic, Campbell's shifted some operations north. Label printers, canning contractors, even job postings. They're now showing up in places like Toronto and London, Ontario, not London, Ohio. The ripple effects? Massive. Farmers, truckers, even marketing agencies in the US are starting to feel the pinch. And with Campbell's Q2 projected to take a $90 million hit from raw materials alone, they're not looking back. That chicken noodle comfort you love, it may soon come with a hint of maple in its supply chain. Number 4, Alcoa, America's aluminum lifeline, is quietly being rerouted. You probably don't think about aluminum every day, but it's in your car, your appliances, your skyscrapers, and your soda can. And the company behind most of it? Alcoa. Or should we say formally behind it? In 2025, Alcoa is executing what might be the quietest industrial exodus in US history. As US power prices spike and aluminum tariffs stack up, the economics of staying became impossible. So Alcoa didn't shout, it shifted. Smelters in the US slowed to a crawl. Meanwhile, Quebec smelters lit up. Alcoa inked hydroelectric power deals stretching to 2040. Contracts worth more than most cities' annual budgets. They're not thinking short term, they're planting roots. That made in USA aluminum, it's increasingly stamped Quebec. Truckers in Kentucky are getting fewer routes. Foundries in Texas sit idle, and entire industries downstream, auto, construction, packaging, are suddenly scrambling. Alcoa's Q1 2025 earnings were clear: $20 million in losses due to tariffs, with another $90 million expected in Q2. Their answer? Canada. Quietly, efficiently, permanently. Number 5. General Motors, the heart of Detroit, is now beating in Ontario. General Motors once stood as a pillar of American industry. From classic Chevys to the roaring muscle of a Camaro, it was built into the DNA of America. Your grandpa worked there, your dad drove one. But now, GM is slipping across the border piece by piece. This isn't a dramatic shutdown, it's a slow bleed. As steel and aluminum tariffs choke supply chains, building cars in the US has become an expensive game. So GM played smarter. It redirected billions into its Canadian operations. That includes a new $1 billion cathode battery plant in Quebec and a growing EV infrastructure in St. Catharines. Layoffs in the US followed. In April 2025, 1,200 jobs were axed at the Ingersoll plant. Reason? Retooling for the next generation. Translation: we're closing and might call you later. They rarely do. While US factories slow down, GM is aggressively hiring engineers in Ontario and Quebec, especially in EV and smart automation sectors. So the brains, the batteries, the future, it's all being assembled in Canada now. GM's not giving up the American image. It still sells in Ohio and Texas, but the guts of the operation, they're migrating. It's not betrayal. It's a survival strategy, and it's working. Number 6, Coca-Cola, the American classic that's gone Canadian. Coca-Cola, the soda of baseball games, fireworks, and front porch summers. An American emblem, right? Not anymore. Behind the scenes, the world's most famous beverage brand is moving north. No fanfare, no corporate farewell, just a quiet disappearance. One day, it's made in Georgia. The next, a new bottling facility is up and running in Ontario. Contracts for aluminum sourced in Quebec are signed and sealed. Why? Simple. US tariffs hit imported aluminum like a sledgehammer, sending production costs through the roof. Coca-Cola was faced with two choices: bleed profits or find a workaround. So they took a third path: Canada. This isn't just about soda cans. American jobs tied to those cans, manufacturing, logistics, distribution, are vanishing. And the product you're sipping at your 4th of July barbecue, it might soon be wrapped in a red and white label with a maple leaf whispering behind the stars and stripes. And if Coca-Cola is willing to ditch its American roots to protect margins, imagine who's next.